Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko.
Welcome to another episode of Inside the Firm. I am Alex Gore, your co-host with Lance the Most Cayko. We have a great show for you today. We're going to build on what we talked about last week, but with a different slant. I told you about it. I've expanded on this idea. We brought up how being a salesman for construction is like a used car salesman. I got another analogy for you.
Being a builder like a used car salesman.
Yeah.
By the way, I was just on a show yesterday, guesting, and that he's a pro. It's called The Podcaster Nation. It's going to be a great episode. Yep. You'll get my take on being a podcaster, which is really fascinating. I think, because you haven't heard that interview before. He is such a good podcaster. He researched by listening to that episode, and he was like, that was phenomenal. And then the owner that inspired that episode, he was like, that was amazing. Both of them. Like, it's a pretty big, people love that show, that episode.
Awesome.
From last week. I'm just saying.
Yeah. That's really, okay.
Is being expand. A builder like being a used car salesman?
Talk about that, the economy, home sales. Let's get into it. Let's pay the bills. How you pay the bills, how you pay your own bills is by getting better at your job. How you get better at your job, and if you're in the architecture community, you go to revitrocketship.com. You streamline and you create a production system of how you can model like it gets built, so everyone understands your drawings, so everyone understands how to build it, so everyone's on the same page. Get you and your firm on Revit Rocketship by going to revitrocketship.com.
Then you're going to need to go specify products after you know Revit like a king, right? Like a theocratic king. Gain lessons learned and credits earned with Arc Academy, ArcCat's continuing education program platform. Listen to the popular episodes of the Detailed podcast and earn AIA-approved HSW credits. Choose an episode, check out the learning objectives, and use what you've learned while listening to take the course. The program is free and can be found on arccat.com under the resources tab, or just go to arccat.com/ARCATEMY. That's arccat.com/ARCATEEMY.
There we go. Okay, so last week, like we just previewed, we talked about how being a builder is like a used car salesman, and how you don't want to essentially, the premise of it was you don't want to sound crazy by telling them everything that could go wrong. And one of the analogies that we've had on multiple projects is because subs hire new people, you can have great subs, right? But sometimes they're painters, sometimes they're HVAC people, you know, they got someone new in, they're just trying to meet it, and they pee off of a building. They pee in a basement. It's very weird. There's porta potties. You would think that this would be known things, but literally pee happens, right? I think I slept on it at night, and then I called you or we were talking, and I go, I have a different analogy too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's like seeing how the sausage is made.
Yeah, that was so brilliant.
And actually, I had a couple different analogies, but I really want to go there because if you think about it, if you went to a slaughterhouse, if you went to how I love meat, I eat meat, I want to hunt more. So like, I'm not doing a indication against how our food is produced. I'm not doing that, right? Hopefully we'll go hunting up with
How
Luke.
about this? Like, imagine if you went and saw how the chicken McNuggets were made.
Exactly.
Right? Like, that's where I think you're going. Like, is that real food? Technically. Like,
right.
Do I eat chicken nuggets every once in a while?
Yeah. But even just going to like if you know how a slaughterhouse is, you know, how they shoot the animals, like you'd be like, this is crazy. If you went to just McDonald's and just watched the people, I'm sure McDonald's, they have their great standards and all that, but like, you'd probably see some stuff you didn't like. You'd see a burger flip.
Or just not expect. How about that? You'd see some stuff you would not expect. I think that's what it is you're like, oh, I didn't know it works like that. So then you're sort of like questioning their process because it's new information to you.
Yep. Have you ever seen, because I have a rod in my leg. And one time like something popped up like, oh, how is this thing done? I watched it years later. It's a titanium rod.
Dude.
And you've seen where the scar is.
If you even going there, but go there.
Anyways, they take this rod, they cut open your kneecap, and then they use a sledgehammer, and one guy is holding it, and then they nail. Okay, I'll stop. Okay.
Joking. Like if anybody knows who Kevin Ware is, go Google it right now.
Yeah.
Kevin Wared his leg. And it's
My own leg.
so gross. Like I knew that's how they were gonna do it.
Yeah.
Frick, man. I kill things with my bare hands, and I can't handle that kind of stuff.
The other thing too, like, if you ever been on like production farms, and I think some people would say like, oh no, that's just food for animals. Like they've pick up corn and wheat. I've seen it with front end loaders, like front end loaders.
And you know what? To the vegans out there, God bless you.
Yeah.
My wife used to be one. You actually consume animals because like when they go, I grew up on a farm. I grew up on a cattle ranch. So I've seen how literally the food is made, and that's why like I'm still a catcher and a cooker and a farmer and all that. Like it's not this peaceful process. It is killing deer because they're sleeping when they go to mow down and start harvesting the wheat and the corn and everything else. It's killing bugs. It's killing little rodents. Like if you
groundhogs,
It's not this. Which is
birds.
exactly what Al's talking about with like how the sausage is made. And so like with construction, though, I think what I want to get out of that is I was like, yeah, it's a messy, dirty, controlled, chaotic process. Like you're literally digging into the earth, and then you don't know what's underneath no matter how much you try. Even if you did, I'm convinced, even if you did like a kind of LiDAR scan that's like high level penetration, like I might even, I know we're trying to not, the whole point of this segment is to paint a picture. Like you can't tell them everything that's going to go wrong because you'll seem crazy. You'll seem like manic.
Yeah.
But I am to the point where I'm like thinking about suggesting, for example, a LiDAR scan that it penetrates the ground to the owners and just going, hey, just want to let you know, even on this new house, the first surprise we might find, which you didn't think might be a thing, is we're going to dig and we could find trash. What? This just happened on a job site. Like trash.
The septic field.
Yeah. The septic field. Al found, the soils report found that like, per the soils report, like once you dig on a different site, like sometimes the soils report's like, oh, then we got to retest. And then if the tests come back crappy, because now you have more soil to test on, you might have to do something different, which is a new cost, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? And like I'm thinking about like suggesting to the owners, like, if we really want this to be bulletproof, then why don't we get a LiDAR scan?
Ground penetrating
LiDAR scan. And then let's just pretend it's $20,000. It probably is. It's probably $20,000. I have no clue, right? I want to see, though, and then say, like, there you go. And then the thing is, though, we might not have even needed it. So what do you want? Like, what do you want from me? And I wonder if it, like, that might be the way to sort of set the stage for the whole thing. And just show, like, guys, this is actually where it starts. It's okay. I just need you to be comfortable. I'm comfortable if you're comfortable. Let's be comfortable. Let's talk. Yeah. I'm your friend. I am here to, the end goal is a friend, a photo, and a fee.
Yep.
And referrals. And so, like, I have your back.
Yes.
Trust me. Look at me trying to have your back by suggesting a $20,000 ground penetrating LiDAR scan from the beginning that we might not need.
Well, okay. What's funny about that?
What if we find a dinosaur?
What's funny about that is Rich the architect, he's a listener. He's in Better Business Group, buildabetterco.com. Had to get that plug in there. He goes, everything that we were saying last time, like every random example, he's like, yeah, I've had that. Even the cars.
Nick Renard, where are you?
Yeah,
where are you? I'm going to send these to you, and I want some feedback.
Where's our Nebraska?
Because he's a builder, too.
You'll remember, God, what's that fast food place that's awesome? That's terrible.
Whataburger?
What?
Whataburger?
No, that's actually terrible. That's Sloppy Joe's.
Gosh, I can't remember it. It's so bad.
You know who I'm talking about, too. Reach back out. Okay, but let's go with that scenario. Because you could say, hey, this happens. There's a way to mitigate this. And it's $20,000, right? There's 5 other examples of that. And the way to mitigate each one of those is probably a $20,000 thing.
Maybe.
Yep.
But like,
so 5.
Maybe.
So that's $100,000 of, and then we could only negate one of those for $100,000 or negate 0 of them, right? So just know when something comes up, and I'm not saying I would say this, but I'm just brainstorming with you. And there's a surprise $20,000 cost, like, yeah, take that out of the hypothetical 100,000 we would have had to take to find that out.
Just to find it out. So then what? Then you're happy that we found it out ahead of time, and then we spent an additional $20K. Do you see what I'm going? You see where I'm going with this? So just to make sure.
And then the other thing too is like, so clients come and visit your job site, and they see how the sausage is made. And maybe this is the analogy that I'll say. Now pretend you're not making a house, but every day, because you eat every day, you buy some sort of component. You don't buy a computer, but you buy something for your kids. You go to the store, you buy a toy, right? You have to walk through the factory every day. Like, you have to walk through the sausage factory, or you have to walk through the factory in China, or you have to inspect the fast food place, or you have to go out into the farm and see they're just front end loading your food. You know what I mean? Like, do you think that you would be surprised and be like, what are they doing here?
We haven't even talked about how these are made.
Yeah.
And everybody
With
knows
nets.
where I'm going with that.
They have nets
Look up iPhone nets and in China, and you'll know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yep. So it's not to excuse anything. It's just, hey, there's a process. And I don't even want to sound defeated. You know, like we're just trying to get through it or anything like that. But so somehow then you have to spin it, and going back to the used car salesman.
I'm so serious about the LiDAR penetration stuff.
Even though, here's the other thing too. I actually want an electric car for my wife. I don't believe all the
I've been thinking
negativity
about that too, yeah.
of oh, this is so dirty and so bad. And it's like, yeah, so is just lighting things on fire. You know, like, but mines, like, it's probably true. Some of those mines suck. They suck.
That's the thing is, like, if you're just honest about how the sausage is, if you just accept it in a certain way and go, it's going to be fine. Like, I think we have this ego problem. And I think it comes back to, again, I say this all the time. I've said it a lot of times lately with my children. We went on this amazing Father's Day hike. We went into the wilderness. It was the best. It's tied for the best Father's Day I've ever had, which was about 7 years ago to that. And we just talk a lot in the mountains. It's so awesome. There's no cell service. We're just looking around, talking about stuff. Mm-hmm. And like, me and the kids are always fascinated. I'm always fascinated by it. Like, I'm looking down the valley, and I'm like, it looks like infinity. It looks like infinity to me because there's so many trees. Yeah. And I'm like, it's look at that abundance. And so I asked the kids, I go like, you know, guys, I think a lot of what you guys experience with me all the time in the wilderness. We're going camping this weekend with the boys. It's going to be awesome. Everybody's coming. Same stuff.
Yeah.
And I go, I don't think the people from the deeply urban areas probably ever get to experience this, their mind thinking about this level of abundance, of space, of water, of trees. And so then that's where I think it gets like the human ego gets overly inflated in the way that we then think, look at us, we can kill the earth. Like, can we? The earth's trying to kill us a lot. I don't know about that.
Well, then the abundance too. And the perspective is what I'm taking away from this. Did you guys camp out or just come back?
It was a day trip.
Okay, day trip. But imagine you didn't. Imagine you sleep. Then you woke up to go to the bathroom, and then you looked up at the stars. You're like, ooh.
Oh, which is going to happen this weekend.
Yep. You'd be like, there's a lot more out there.
Yep.
There's like, this is nothing.
Yeah.
So. Okay, next topic.
Here we go to the economy. I've got you pulled up here, Al. Oh, no.
U.S. economy shrank 0.5% between January and March, worse than 2 years earlier, estimates have revealed. So that they thought that the estimate that the economy only shrank 0.2%, but is actually 0.5%. And the reason why was because they have to subtract all the imports. And a lot of companies got ahead of Trump's Liberation Day.
Oh, the tariffs, for sure.
Yep, the tariffs. Imported a whole bunch, which brought them down. The good news, though, is that, what is it? It is, where did they say?
What are we looking for?
Next, the GDP Okay. First quarter import influx likely won't be repeated in April and June quarter, and therefore shouldn't weigh on the GDP. In fact,
Nice, 3%.
economists,
Oh, good. Then we're not in a recession technically.
second quarter growth to bounce back to 3% in the second quarter. Yep, they said second quarter.
Here's what I think we're doing. I think we have a 1 foot in a recession, 1 foot in not.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's quarter by quarter, just like you saw. First quarter, we're in a recession. Second quarter, we're not. Third quarter, maybe a recession. Third quarter, not. It's just choppy. Whatever.
I think it's week by week, and it's step by step.
Nice.
Week by week. This week we are. Next week we are.
Because how about this? We just signed the most projects we signed month over month. We're good. F9 is good again. We're feeling good. I don't know. People want to do stuff. You just get cautious. I don't know. Just keep your head up.
No. Good month of sales. Good month of signing stuff. On to our last topic.
Yeah, what's that?
If you just go to the document, maybe you'll have to crop. It's just a snip of Twitter, and this is like indicative of the left foot in, right foot out. Home sales prices in 11 of the 50 biggest U.S. metro areas are consistently falling, according to data from Redfin. What's funny about this, too, harking to last episode, we said how the data is presented skews you.
Oh, yeah.
So it says home price sales in 11 of the 50.
And then, of course, everybody, Grok, explain why. If you're on Twitter, you know what we're talking about.
Yep.
It's just exhausting.
But look at the last comment. It's 39 out of 50 are still going up and holding steady.
Exactly.
Because that could have been the headline too. 39 out of 50 prices are holding steady.
There's really something to being a balanced brain person, trying to be left and right at this and equal, and then going, this is the information I was given. What is the opposite of that? And then you run it through and see, and then what sticks. It's like, what's real? So,
right.
All right, short and sweet. Enjoy your Independence Day weekend. I don't think we'll be back
until
after that. So it'll be a long break. I know you're going to miss us. I'm going to miss you guys. So make sure you email us, send us gifts, all the good stuff. Don't blow your fingers off with the fireworks. See you next episode.
Bye-bye.